So the budget Cutlass runs and drives and does burnouts and stuff, and that's cool. And now that I've spent more time with the car, I've learned more about it, and it's progressed to the what the next steps are going to be. And before addressing those, I wanted to talk about like a concept with these cars that sometimes people laugh at me for or whatever. But your car's trying to talk to you. It can't physically speak to you, but it will give you signs of like what it needs or what it wants. And the more time that you spend with it, even just starting it up and moving it around the yard, you're gonna find out and learn more about the car and what needs to be done with it. So for example, this car's got a 400 small block in it that's always just been kind of weak. And addressing that, one day I noticed that we had a little bit of smoke coming out underneath the hood, and I look and I start seeing that all the plugs and everything are all soaked in oil. All the wires, look at this, super oily. And then I'll start it up and I'll show you what's going on here. Wow, so smooth. It is just running out of the corner of the valve cover. And it's just running down, soaking all the plugs and stuff. Now that's pretty straightforward. That's really like some deductive reasoning, but I've had extreme examples where, let's say, my car got a stuck brake caliper or whatever, and then it leads me to find that it's got a bad tie rod or a bad ball joint, something that could have been catastrophic. And it's like, wow, here I was frustrated that something went wrong with the car, but it leaded up finding to something that ended up being really lucky. So yeah, anyway, just keep open eyes and pay attention and trust your guts on your project cars, because that's really goes far with them. So anyway, on to addressing the next thing and the next steps. Well, we have some leaky valve covers and we have a misfiring motor. This thing runs rough, it's down on power, and I think it's got a stock cam and stuff, and it should really run smooth. So how we're going to address this is, and what the causes of the valve covers is, in these traditional motors, one of the best things that you can do for your small block Chevrolet, because that's kind of what this project is around, is get a good set of cast aluminum valve covers. These stamped ones, stamped steel, what happens, right? Oh, my valve cover's leaking. You crank this down, right? You crank it down, and then it bends it in this direction. It comes up because it pushes down there, and then it warps the valve cover, and it never seals up. These are the covers that came off of the car. You can see when you over tighten them, it pulls the bolt holes down. Look at the gap underneath the straight edge. Kind of hard to see, but it's certainly there. Every set of stamped valve covers I've ever had, they don't seal well. Also, I like getting rid of this PCV valve and plugging it, because I feel like it's just another opportunity for a vacuum leak, basically. That'll give you a bad running car. So what we're doing to address this and change it is, I bought these valve covers here from Speedway Motors. These I welded these in, but they came raw. And the bottoms are machined. I did have to do a little bit of work cleaning these up, but the welding pieces have baffles and stuff, and I put one on each side. So hopefully this will work out well. The first one on, and looks good. It's just a stock valve train in here, but I like the look of the valve covers, and who knows what I'll be getting into in the future, so I got the tall ones. And again, be observant on your projects. Look here. there's an imperfection in the casting and it's raised up. Of course the gasket's having a hard time sealing on this. It has to smush around that. So I'm going to take the time and file that down. Before I put the second one on, I also want to show a difference in the valve covers. So see how this is raised from this level all the way across? I'd say that that would be the bottom, no? Whereas this one only has like this one small area. So I'd put that towards the top of the motor, and this one, so when it drains, it doesn't hit the gasket and go past it. All right, so they're both on there. Cool, I like it. I just want to show you this. Going lefty and I'm a righty. Really, only gotta go a tiny bit, just like that. Snug them up all evenly. You can actually, these aluminum ones, you can actually break them if you tighten them too much. Ask me how I know. So anyway, so when you're doing these, you don't gotta kill them on there. Just snug them up nice and even and go from there. Anyway, on the other side, like I said, these are definitely no bueno, amigo. This one's rubbing on the header, and they're all just gross and oily. I know that they're not working right, but I'm going to put them back on today and fire it up, check for oil leaks. Well, we've had it running for a few minutes now, and looks like it's nice and dry. There is a little residual leak on this side here. I think a little oil dropped on the header, but no leaks. A little goofy with the tall breather sticking up, but I like the look. And the valve covers are always a cool way to kind of change the look of your motor. It also wasn't super expensive. I paid $120 in total for the 2 valve covers, the Weldon baffles, and the air cleaner stuff, with the little cleaners and the gaskets. So you can do that a little bit cheaper too. Like so many people are selling off parts for these motors. You can go online, you can go to a swap meet or whatever. You can probably get a good set of cast aluminum covers for $50 or free, or who knows. So anyway, just keep looking. Also from Speedway Motors, I did this battery. I modified it and I bolted it down to the frame because I'm not running inner wheel wells in this car. I might end up changing this at a later date, but I figured I'd show it off. On to the next steps.